We're going to talk about something really hard today, depression. It's a word that carries so much weight, so much shame. But here's the truth. Struggling with depression doesn't mean you're broken, it means you're human. We live in a world that often expects us to be on all the time, to be happy and productive. But that's not reality. Reality is messy, it's painful, and sometimes it's downright dark. The good news is, even in the darkness, there's light to be found. One of the bravest things you can do is ask for help. When we're struggling with depression, it can feel like we're drowning in our own thoughts and emotions. It's so easy to isolate ourselves, to believe the lie that we have to go through this alone, but that's just not true. Reaching out to a therapist, a counselor, or a medical professional is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of incredible strength. It takes courage to say, I'm hurting and I need support. Therapy provides a safe and confidential space to process your feelings, develop coping mechanisms, and work towards healing. It's like having a guide in the darkness, someone who can help you navigate the difficult terrain of depression. And sometimes medication can be a crucial part of the journey as well. It's not about masking your emotions, but about restoring balance to your brain chemistry so you can engage in the work of healing. There might be setbacks, there might be moments of doubt, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep showing up for yourself, keep reaching out and keep believing that healing is possible, because it is. We weren't meant to go through life alone. We are wired for connection, for belonging, for community. And when we're struggling with depression, that need for connection is even more profound. But here's the catch. Depression thrives in isolation. It whispers lies, telling us we're a burden, that no one cares, that we're better off alone. And the more we believe those lies, the more disconnected we become. That's why it's so important to fight for connection. Talk to your friends, your family, your loved ones. Let them know what you're going through. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to have the courage to say, I'm struggling. There are countless support groups, both online and in person, where you can connect with others who understand the darkness of depression. Vulnerability is not weakness, it's our greatest measure of courage. It's in the sharing, in the letting go of our need to be perfect, that we truly connect with ourselves and others. And in those connections we find strength, we find hope, and we find the reminder that we are not alone. When we're depressed, self-care can feel like an impossible task. It's hard to find the energy to get out of bed, let alone exercise, eat healthy foods, or get enough sleep. But here's the thing. Self-care is not selfish, it's essential. It's about treating ourselves with the same compassion and kindness that we would offer a loved one who was struggling. Start small. Instead of pressuring yourself to run a marathon, try going for a walk around the block. Instead of overhauling your entire diet, focus on incorporating more fruits and vegetables into your meals. And when it comes to sleep, create a relaxing bedtime routine and stick to a consistent sleep schedule as much as possible. Remember, self-care is not about perfection, it's about progress. When we're caught in the grip of depression, our minds can feel like a runaway train. Thoughts race, worries spiral, and it feels impossible to find peace. That's where mindfulness and relaxation techniques come in. Practices like meditation and deep breathing can help us calm the storm within, bringing us back to the present moment and quieting the relentless chatter of our minds. Meditation is not about emptying your mind, it's about learning to observe your thoughts without judgment. It's about creating space between ourselves and our thoughts so we can choose how we respond rather than reacting automatically. And deep breathing is a powerful tool that we can use anytime, anywhere to regulate our nervous system and reduce stress. Finding stillness takes practice. Just keep coming back to your breath. Keep coming back to the present moment. Even a few minutes of mindful breathing or meditation can make a world of difference. When we're depressed, it's easy to get overwhelmed by the enormity of the tasks ahead. We look at our lives and see all the things we feel unable to do, and it can be paralyzing. That's why it's so important to break things down into smaller, more manageable steps. Instead of focusing on the big picture, set small, achievable goals for yourself each day. Maybe your goal is to get out of bed and get dressed. Maybe it's to make a healthy meal, or maybe it's simply to take 5 minutes to practice deep breathing. Whatever it is, make it something you know you can accomplish. And when you achieve that goal, Celebrate it. Acknowledge your progress no matter how small it may seem. Remember, every step forward, no matter how tiny, is a victory. Depression can rob us of our joy, our passions, the things that once lit us up from the inside out. It can make even our favorite activities feel like chores. But reconnecting with those activities, even if it's just for a few minutes each day, can make a world of difference. Think back to the things you used to love doing, the things that brought you joy, and make a conscious effort to incorporate them back into your life. Maybe it's reading, painting, playing music, spending time in nature, or volunteering your time to a cause you care about. Whatever it is, make time for it, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. By reconnecting with the things that light us up, we nourish our souls and remind ourselves that there is still beauty and wonder to be found in the world. Just as it's important to cultivate positivity in our lives, it's equally important to set boundaries with negativity. This includes limiting our exposure to negative news and social media, as well as surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and support us. When we're constantly bombarded with negativity, it can take a toll on our mental health. It can fuel our anxiety, deepen our depression, and make it harder to focus on the good. That's why it's crucial to be mindful of the information we consume and the people we spend our time with. It's okay to say no to things that drain you, to unfollow accounts that trigger negative emotions, and to distance yourself from people who bring you down. You deserve to be surrounded by positivity, love, and support. One of the most empowering things we can do when facing depression is to educate ourselves about it. The more we understand about this complex illness, the better equipped we are to manage it. There are countless resources available, both online and in our communities, that can provide valuable information about depression, its symptoms, and treatment options. Take the time to research reputable sources, talk to mental health professionals, and learn as much as you can about depression. Knowledge is power, and the more we understand about this illness, the less afraid we become. Remember, you are not alone in this journey. There are countless others who have walked this path before you, and there are countless resources available to support you every step of the way. When we're depressed, it can be difficult to maintain a sense of structure and routine in our lives. Our sleep schedules may be disrupted, our eating habits may change, and it can be hard to find the motivation to engage in our usual activities. But establishing a daily routine, even a simple one, can provide a sense of normalcy and stability during challenging times. Start by setting realistic goals for yourself each day, such as waking up and going to bed around the same time, eating regular meals, and incorporating some form of physical activity into your day. Even small acts of self-care, like taking a shower or getting dressed, can make a big difference in how we feel. A routine doesn't have to be rigid or inflexible. It's about finding a rhythm that works for you and helps you feel more grounded and in control. Perhaps the most important thing to remember on this journey is to be kind to yourself. Depression is a real illness, and it's not your fault. You are not weak, you are not a failure, and you are worthy of love and support. There will be good days and bad days. There will be times when you feel strong and capable, and there will be times when you feel overwhelmed and defeated. And that's okay. It's all part of the process. The important thing is to meet yourself where you are with compassion and understanding. Healing is not linear. There will be setbacks, there will be challenges, and there will be times when you want to give up. But don't. Keep going. You are stronger than you think, and you are worthy of a life filled with joy, meaning, and connection. If you're struggling with depression, please know that you are not alone. There is hope, there is healing, and there is a whole community of people who understand what you're going through and want to support you on your journey. Reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of incredible strength. It takes courage to acknowledge our pain, to ask for support, and to believe that healing is possible. Remember, you are worthy of love, you are worthy of belonging, and you are worthy of a life filled with joy and meaning. Keep going and never, ever give up hope.